Good morning, everybody. It's Monday here at Coffee Talk. It is early. It is before 8 o'clock, and I have something for you today. First, let's talk about something very important. Now, we're going to be doing some comparisons. When I first started doing videos years ago, and right? One of the things I had said was, what happens if the ship has to leave? And you're out and about. It's not your fault. They just have to go, whatever the reason is. How would they contact you? Well, 20-something cruises later, before now, they just blow that whistle for a very long time. Let's just say a very, very long time. But things have changed. Progress. We now use our cell phones and email and all the other things going on with cruising. Now, there was a ship recently that tested that theory. They had to leave a port a couple hours, let's say 2 hours early. So what did they do? Well, it was simple. They sent everybody an email or text. So, when you put in that phone number is very important. Not saying something's going to happen, but that's how they did it. They sent an email, they sent a text. Now, a lot of people turn their phones off when they're in the islands because they don't want to make phone calls that cost them $30-40, okay? So, that's that. No, that's not that. There's several different horns on a ship. And the one we normally hear is not the main horn. But the main horn can be heard for 5 miles. Now, let's just say that this happens. And it did happen. They start blowing that horn. They start blowing it and blowing it and blowing it. So, say you didn't hear the horn. You were inside a building. You were in a cave. Your phone's off, you didn't get the text, or you didn't get the email. What happens then? Well, this happened on Carnival recently, so I kind of wrote the CEO, to him a little thing. What happens if you miss a ship? Well, hopefully getting a response. And the reason I did that is because Don, from Don's Family Vacation, wanted the same answer. Because no one got left behind this time. Because of people got sent texts, they got sent emails, and that horn was blowing. But if you do not return to that ship and they know they got to get out, they'll start calling. They will go to that phone number and they will start calling until they get hold of you and find you. Now, they do have a window to get out of town. Why did they have to get out? Because the hurricane was knocking on the door. And they didn't want to be trapped in the cruise ship, in the pier. Before that was okay. They just tied the ship down. But that's actually not safe, really, because in the past that showed cruise ships smacking into each other, smacking into the pier. There's storms, yes. But recently, there was a couple bad hurricanes out in the Atlantic Ocean. And one was headed right straight for the islands. It's not a big island. It's about 2 miles wide, 5 miles long. It's a small island. You can all figure it out. You can look it up. But hey, that's okay. They did what they needed to do. The captain got the call and says, look, there's a hurricane coming your way. You need to leave the island. So everyone's off the ship that was getting off the ship. People out shopping. So once they've done all that, then they start calling all of the shore excursion people. And they start calling them, so you got to get them back. You got to get them back now. We got to leave due to the storm, okay? It might be clear skies, but they had to leave. Then they start putting the word out along that nice shopping area around the cruise ship. They start putting the word out there. They start calling the vendors and everything down there and says, look, you need to make an announcement that this cruise ship is leaving. It's leaving, we'll just say 45 minutes. You need to get back on the ship now because there's pending hurricane. This is what they do now. And I think it's a great thing. In the meantime, they're still blowing that horn. They're still sending texts out. They're sending email out. And they're calling everybody. They're calling everybody that took a shore excursion. In other words, the owner of the shore excursion person knows how to contact the tour guides out there with the people on the cruise ship. So they're being wrangled back in. So, everyone's getting back in a timely manner. Okay, in a timely manner. So usually these decisions are made before 12 o'clock. So usually 12 o'clock, you're in the middle of a shore excursion, or you're coming to the end of it, or you're out shopping, or you're just having a lazy day on the beach. That's how they would find you. And I know as soon as I hear that ship blowing, if I'm just not too far on the lake, I'm not going to say, oh, we got time. I'm going to get my stuff and I'm going to get back on that ship. I'm not going to, So, waiting for that answer, and I can't wait to get it. So, but, hey, wouldn't it be very cool? Wouldn't it be very cool to, just have some fun and some relax, and all of a sudden you hear the ship screaming. All right, you just hear it. And you go, oh, what's that? A lot of people will just say, why is it blowing its horn? A lot of people don't realize that horn, that particular horn, is meant, get your butt back here now. Whatever it is you're doing. If you're eating, don't run, hide, get here in a dangerous way, but start heading back to the ship. We're not going to leave without you, because they will call your phone number if the ship is leaving, because the ship has to, and you have not returned to the ship. They will start calling you. They will start looking for you. They will do their best to get you back on the ship. Now, nobody missed a ship. Nobody did. Which is kind of nice, actually. Nobody did. But, it's nice that they have all these procedures in place. It's not just one. Back in the day, it was just that horn. It was just that horn. They would say during the muster drill when you're staying outside, if you hear this, boop, 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 and then a big, long, you need to come back to the ship. And, that's before, my cell phone never went on a cruise with me in the beginning. They had no need for it, when I first started cruising. There was no need for it. The technology wasn't there yet. But it is now. So my answer is, don't turn your phone off, because you just never know what Mother Nature's going to do during your vacation. Okay? So leave it on vibrate, check your emails, check, oh, look, what's that? Someone called, don't recognize this weird number. It says Royal Caribbean. And you go on there and you go to your messages, because they will leave a message. Okay? So besides that, checking that phone and hearing that horn, and getting an email, you say, well, something's up. We got to go. So that's we got to go. So yes, nobody missed the ship. Carnival had to move out of a port down in the Caribbean, down by Florida. We all know what hurricane that was recently. And everyone got back on the ship safe. The ship got out of port in plenty of time, never was affected by the hurricane. But it's nice to know that there are safety procedures put in effect for if your ship has to leave early. So I hope this wasn't too confusing, because it confused me at first. I had to do some research, and yes, it is great. What happens when a cruise ship has to go? Like now. So I hope you see you at the next coffee talk, and it's Monday, and it's going to be a long day. It is.